Hello and welcome to Quick Charge by Electrek. I'm Mikey G, and it's Wednesday, September 21st. This week's episode is sponsored by Recurrent Auto. More information during the break. Tesla has officially launched its CCS adapter for $250, enabling Tesla drivers to access public charging stations. Tesla has the most extensive network of chargers in North America with their own plug, but nonetheless, some instances are needed at destinations or perhaps charging at a business that only has a CCS connection. But now Tesla owners can rejoice as the new adapter allows them to charge in all sorts of new places. The adapter can charge up to 250 kilowatts, which isn't the highest out there, but it's still plenty fast. While the launch of the new adapter is going to be welcomed by Tesla owners, it isn't accessible to everyone. Tesla wrote in the description that some owners may need to retrofit in order to ensure functionality with third-party stations. They didn't provide a whole lot of information on that description, but the problem seems to be with the electronic control unit in Tesla vehicles that are prior to October of 2020. The retrofit is expected sometime in early 2023. The world's first Tesla solar neighborhood is becoming a reality in Austin, Texas, where Tesla is deploying solar roofs and power walls in a brand new development. Last year, Tesla signed a breakthrough deal to deploy solar roofs and power walls on a large scale in this new community. The project is in partnership with Brookfield Asset Management and DACRA, where they are offering Tesla solar roofs and power wall packages on the brand new homes in a 12,000 home development. A year after the announcement, Electrek has learned that Tesla is ramping up in the Easton Park by focusing on installation crews in the new homes. The first new homes are equipped with the panels are listed for around a price of $750,000. Chinese automaker Chang'an Automobile has launched a new electric vehicle that strangely resembles the Tesla Model 3. However, the price is much cheaper at $26,000. Chang'an Automobile is a state-owned automaker which recently launched the Shenlan SL03, a small electric sedan. The vehicle dimensions are very similar to the Model 3, only about 4 inches longer and virtually the same wheelbase width and height. And wouldn't you know it, the interior is quite minimalistic and features a large horizontal display just like the Model 3. The Chinese company took over 15,000 reservations for the new car only hours after launching it. It plans to deliver the first units to customers by the end of this year and ramp up to production of eventually 15,000 units per month. Jaguar Land Rover has begun converting its Halewood plant to support the company's transition to electric vehicles. After several rounds of layoffs to finance the automaker's transition, the employees at the factory can now look forward to participating in the future of transportation by helping build the next generation of electric Land Rover and Jaguar vehicles. Jaguar Land Rover revealed its global EV strategy called Reimagine last year, which involves Jaguar becoming an all-electric brand by 2025 and Land Rover to have 6 EVs by 2030, including the very first one, which is due in 2024. This week's episode is sponsored by Recurrent Auto. Recurrent lets you check the battery before buying a used EV and monitor your battery's performance with monthly insights using its free battery reports for EV owners. And the new Range Score tool by Recurrent is like an odometer for EVs. It tells you at a glance how far a used EV can go compared to when it was new. It's especially helpful for people who are new to EVs and don't always know the questions to ask about range and degradation. Surveys and early results have found that buyers pay more for cars with range scores even if it's not in perfect condition. Anything is better than nothing, and substantially more for cars with really good range scores. For EV owners thinking about selling in the next 12 months, like those waiting on a pre-order for a hot new EV, Recurrent offers free EV-specific valuation from Black Book that owners can use when selling their EVs at a premium when ready. It's only available in the U.S. and at the moment for most Tesla, Chevrolet, and Nissan EV models. You can head over to recurrentauto.com/sell for more information and to get your free report now. Volvo Cars has begun teasing a new flagship electric SUV called the EX90, set to replace the popular XC90 model as it changes to electric vehicles. The first reveal of the EV won't happen until this fall, but Volvo is already calling the EX90 its safest vehicle to date and has shared some of the technologies that we can expect to see. Principally in ADAS systems, the new Volvos will feature LiDAR and a 360 camera of the entire vehicle. Volvo says that once EVs like this hit the roads, its research indicates a 20% reduction in accidents that cause serious injury or death, and estimates it will improve overall crash avoidance by 9%. The new feature will also include a sensor to measure the driver's eyes for concentration and to offer a soft nudge that can become more insistent if necessary. General Motors has released 7 new EPA standards that could help drive EV adoption in the United States. The new EPA recommendations are designed to accelerate the transition to electric, and it would require at least half of new vehicles sold to emit zero emissions and reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 60% by the year 2030. If passed, the new standards would also include an innovation opt-in compliance pathway, which is designed to reward innovative manufacturers for speeding up EV deployment. Stay tuned for today's inaugural opinion section, where you will hear my take on this particular story. U.S. public charging network EVgo has announced an expansion of its plug-and-charge capabilities that they are now calling AutoCharge Plus technology. Previously, owners of plug-and-charge capable General Motors vehicles could utilize the feature on the EVgo network, but that opportunity is now available for drivers of lots of other vehicles. If you're curious, plug-and-charge capability is a fancy way of saying that when the car is plugged in, it starts to charge without any buttons or apps or sign-in or any of that. Of course, it's not free in cost. The credit card sign-in happens already, but nonetheless, the convenience of charging quickly is still sought after. EVgo says that their titled AutoCharge Plus will initially be available on select vehicles from Ford, Hyundai, General Motors, and more. Okay, here's my opinion on the news that General Motors is engaging with the Environmental Defense Fund to make Environmental Protection Agency recommendations for other automakers. I find this to be an incredibly aggressive move by General Motors. If I understand this right, GM is making the switch to electric and dumping a ton of investment in the process, and as they transition away from gas cars, they are encouraging standards that will close the door on other automakers who weren't quite as quick or didn't have quite that much money. The timing of this I find to be very selfish. Keep in mind, General Motors has still only recently began selling EVs again, and earlier this year they had exactly 0 models for sale. The transition to selling EVs is quite difficult for all the car companies involved, and that became quite clear to me when I drove the Subaru Solterra. I didn't start working for Electrek because I hate EVs, by the way. Obviously, I am in favor of having more EVs on the road, and regulation does have a part to play in that delicate dance of the major section of the world economy. However, I find this very hypocritical coming from GM. Only now that General Motors has decided to commit to electric do they want to use the government as mafia muscle to protect their interests. If you head over to YouTube, you can let me know what you think of my opinion, or in the opinion section in general. I look forward to reading your comments. And in today's community comment found on YouTube, Rick Skinta describes his reservation for the Fisker Ocean. He clarified that when Fisker asked for reservation holders to put down extra money, it was advantageous to the buyers. With this signed agreement, the buyers got locked into an existing tax credit and thereby secured the full $7,500 credit for their purchase. Thank you very much for the clarification, Rick. And thanks for watching Quick Charge by Electrek. I'm Mikey G, and I hope you have a great day.